So today, like I said last week, we're going to be doing some quiz exercises, which I believe will help us during the exam time. I just want to first go through the three types of questions that you can expect and a little bit of how you can be able to answer the question that you can expect in your exam and how you should be able to tackle the question. But we'll go through this even in the next sessions. I will be coming with different techniques and also different ways in which you can be able to answer your questions. So there are types of questions like quantitative questions, multiple choice questions, you know this, and essay question. Your quantitative questions will be the one that they ask you about how to describe and to explain and all those kind of things. Then when answering a question, you need to read all the questions carefully and read each question carefully, not only all the question carefully, but each and every individual question you need to read it carefully if allowed to underline. But most of these applied, by the way, to questions that you are going to be doing when you are handing a paper, even if you're not writing online. But obviously, even if you are writing online, it is preferable that you can have your paper as well and a book where you are sitting down, where you can be able to jot down all the things that you're gonna be thinking that is of a key when you're gonna be able, that will assist you to write or to answer the questions. Then also, if you are not sure of a particular question, it's okay to just do this. Okay, you can skip that particular question and mark them and come back to it later. Even in online, I think they have a provision for you where you can go from question 2 to question 3, question 4, and skip. It's like filling in the application form for whatever that you're filling on. You can jump to the last question, but it will just give you a notification before you submit that you have a missing question that you haven't answered. So it's always advisable that if you are not sure of a question, you can just skip it and then come back to it later, so that you don't, in terms of time management, so that you don't get stuck in one question when you are battling with one question, and before you know it, you do not have much more time to finish your exam. So it's better to just, if you are not sure of a question, to just, I know to some people they will say it will, they can think for a while before they can answer and all that, but it's most advisable that you can skip. And most importantly, sometimes there are other questions which can revive your mind and which can help you to recite the things that you have forgotten in an earlier attempt or in an early question. And if you have time at the end, go back to the question that you marked or the question that you have missed. Do not go back over every question. Reread only the ones that you were unsure of. Do not second guess yourself. Change an answer if you only absolutely sure if the second answer was wrong. The odds are in your favor that you the first one was right there. So that's just a statement which is just a motivative statement to say sometimes if you're not sure, but probably the first one that you were super guessing was right. But I don't expect most of you to guess, because you would have studied, and so if you have studied, then you will be sure of most of your questions. And this is the most important one: make sure that you answer all your questions. It's very important. Make sure that you answer all your questions. You know, even in matric, sometimes you will find that if a question has any bit of an error or an ambiguity in it, so if a question is not understandable or the examiner made a mistake in a question, when they decide to say to tell the people who are gonna be marking, they will tell you that question so much so and so. Question 3, I'm just making an example. Question 4, there was an error. The question was not understandable. We made a mistake with the question. Give all the students all the marks, but everybody who has written. So if you put a gap there, if you didn't write anything, you might find yourself that if there's any chance that they're giving free marks, you are likely not to get anything. You're going. And most of the time, the examiners, when they create a memorandum, they use what you call keywords, especially in the essay questions or long questions, where they are not expecting you to extrapolate or give them exactly what is in the memorandum or exactly what is in the notes, or for you to cram everything. They expect you to use your own words, but there are some terminology that they expect. So they will say, if a student have this term, if the student have ribosome, if the students have biodiversity, if the students in the statement have climate change, if the student put in his word mitochondria, chloroplast, photosynthesis, whatever, give them a mark. So you are more likely to write something which is right without being aware that you're writing something that is right, because you have written, and obviously because you know somebody from the street. They didn't just took somebody from the street and put them in the exam room and say, come and write. They took you who've been attending this. So even if you don't know the answer, chances are that you just slightly forgot, but you have a slight idea of what they're talking about. So in terms of keys or something that they are looking for, keywords, you probably gonna get them right one way or the other. And if you have no idea of the answer, yeah, put a guess. But obviously your guess will be a scientific guess. It will be the guess that is of a person who has been attending the model, you know? So there's a difference between somebody who has been attending the sessions and somebody who has not been attending the sessions. So I expect that even a person who has been attending the sessions, when they guess, you can sense the tone of a person who has been attending, and the sense and the tone of somebody who has absolutely not been attending, who have no idea where to go to or how to go to. So in terms of comprehensive questions, the comprehensive questions will be your define, describe. You know, when you define, you just give a definition. When you describe, you just describe the structure of something. When you're describing that this is a particular structure, or this is a particular process. How does it start? How does it begin? How does it end? But in terms of definition, you are just giving a definition, what that particular thing is, or what that particular organelle is, or what that particular structure is. So analysis question is the question where you're gonna list, which depend on the context or listing step in a process can be also part of analysis. Explain, compare between the two, differences between something and all that. Then other categories you see here in details, where we talk about categories of exam and assignment questions, where you got comprehension. This question tests your basic understanding of factual information. There will be a question such as multiple choice, for example, it will be which of the following is not a reactor in photosynthesis, which is A, either sunlight, B, water, C, oxygen, or D, carbon dioxide. I'm not going to waste time by asking you this, but the answer will be C. And the other question also of the multiple choice will also include true or false. You know, they are part of comprehension questions, which you will be expected to say photosynthesis occurred during the day, and you say that's true. Then there's also another category of application, which are questions that ask you to apply your knowledge to solve at different at different levels, to solve problems or answer a scenario based on a question. And the type of question here will be to analyze the data. A graph shows the rate of photosynthesis at a different light intensity. Explain the trend. Design an experiment. Design an experiment to test how different wavelengths affect photosynthesis. Remember when we were talking about the questions about hypothesis, they fall under the application or analysis questions. And then there's analysis questions, which these questions require you to break down information, identify relationship, and demonstrate critical thinking. For example, there will be a compare and contrast the process of photosynthesis in plants and in chemosynthesis in bacteria. So you'll be comparing the two processes or two structures or two organs or two things that you will be asked to compare. Or the other type of question will be to explain the importance of photosynthesis. This is an example, by the way. Explain the importance of photosynthesis for life Earth. The other category will be evaluation. This question asks you to judge the value of merits of or on the merits of something based on the biological principles. It will be like, for example, will be evaluate the claim. Evaluate the claim that artificial lights can completely replace sunlight for plant growth, or how important the artificial light are in chicken farming, in all that kind of things. The other category will be synthesis. These questions require you to combine information from different sources to create new understanding or answer. So this synthesis, for example, you're going to have a question like develop a hypothesis. We did this. Develop a hypothesis to explain why some plants are better adapted to low light environments than others. So this will be the type of question that fall under the category of synthesis. So the other one will be matching. I haven't really got hold of this, but we're gonna do one of the exercises in the next sessions where you are matching, where you've got the column E and column B, or just in one column they are saying you should choose between two answers, and then you have to match. They could say chlorophyll A, match the following terms with the right definition. Chlorophyll, B, stomata, glucose, and then the first definition they said is sugar produced in photosynthesis. The second definition they say is pigment that traps sunlight, and the third one will say pores in leaves for gas exchange, and then add the answers. Then when we proceed, that's the time for you. Define the following terms.
For acid, I think an acid is a substance whose pH is below than 7.
Yeah, that's also another definition. Yes. Anyone?
I think an acid is any substance that donates hydrogen ions into the solution.
Yes. Remember, there are different definitions, and we don't have to expect to give the ones that are in the notes only. Yes. Anybody else?
Like acids, they are substances that can that are corrosive. They are corrosive and they sour tasting, and also that's all that I can think of.
All right. Okay, I think we've got enough data to give a verdict. I hope you did take note down of the answers that you gave, so that you are able to see whether this is right. But I think somebody did allude to a molecule that donates hydrogen ions and increase the concentration of hydrogen ions in a solution. I keep forgetting to put the numbers, how much, but mostly the definition will be 2 marks, 2 mark question. All right, let's go for adhesion. There was somebody who wanted to jump in for adhesion from the get-go. That's your chance. Go ahead.
I think adhesion, sir, is the clinging of different substances to one another.
Okay. Okay. Can you repeat that? You said the clinging.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else want to give it another different direction?
When molecules get attracted to one another.
Okay. I think you are both right. It's the attraction between water molecules and other molecules. This is an easy one. Anion.
It is an atom with a negative charge or atom that has more electrons than protons. Am I right? I don't know. Well,
We will find out.
okay.
Anybody else?
Can I answer, sir?
Yes.
Can I
please.
answer?
Yes, please.
I think anion is a negatively charged ion.
All right.
An ion is an atom. It's when an electron donates. An atom donates an electron and has a negative charge.
Yes. So you remember I'm always shouting about the keyword. So I think here is one of those where even your examiner, you can say whatever you want, but your examiner, the person who's gonna be marking for your your script, will be looking for the negative ion. When they see negative ion, they just give you a mark and move on. Yeah, we also talked about this a lot. What is an atom? Come on.
I think an atom is the smallest particle of a substance that can be involved in a chemical reaction.
Correct. Anybody else?
And an atom is the smallest particle of matter.
Yes. So even here, the keyword will be the smallest unit or the basic element. So if you wrote something about which alludes to the smallest unit and the basic element of, you will be able to get the maximum marks. Yeah, and what is an atomic mass?
It's the quantity of matter contained in an atom of an element.
It is the sum of the protons and the neutrons that are found within an atom.
Okay. Anybody else?
The total mass of one atom or any element.
Cool. Can we have one last person who can just go? I have a different. I'm liking this because I have got a different definition here. But you are also right.
Hi, sir. Can I try?
Yeah, let the lady go, and then you will go.
I think an atomic mass. I'm not sure. I'm just trying. An atomic mass is the mass of an atom in accordance to its abundance.
Okay. Yeah, gentlemen, can you have the last go?
Yes, sir. I think atomic mass is the mass of the average mass of a specific atom. Hey, yes, I'm very sorry, sir. I can't get the correct terms together, but it's compared to we get the average mass of all the isotopes of the element. Then we compare it to carbon 12, 1/12 of carbon 12 atom. I'm not sure if I got it right.
You know what? I wanna show you something, right? So let's go ahead and also attempt to answer what is atomic number. Because remember I told you last week that I also get annoyed by this atomic because they can look very similar and very like the same, where you can think that they are all the same, and it's very difficult to deduce the difference between this atomic mass and all those kind of things. Yeah. Sorry.
Atomic number is the number of protons.
All right. Anybody else?
Can I answer?
Yeah.
Can I answer?
Yes.
It's the number of protons in the nucleus.
Cool. One last person?
Can I answer?
Yes.
Is that
The
total?
number
particles of matter in an atom. Therefore, the masses of protons, neutrons, and electrons in an atom added together.
Cool. Yeah, you wanted to go? Yes.
Can I answer this one, please?
Yes.
Atomic number is the number of protons in the nucleus of an atom, which is uniquely identifies its element.
Yes. Okay, so atomic mass will be your calculated mean of the mass number of an element isotope. So the key words here, from what I can, my viewpoint is that you can say is the number of what. You can say is the number of this and that, but it should be the number which attributes to an element isotopes. So that's what you are trying to calculate. That's the number that you get, the atomic number of the element isotope. That's what you're going to begin. And the atomic number is the total number of protons in an atoms. That's that. And the base, we did talk about base last week, right? Yes.
Base is actually a substance that can neutralizes the acid by acting with hydrogen ions.
Molecule that donates the hydroxide ions and increases the concentration of the hydroxide in a solution.
Okay. Yeah. One last person.
Substances that reduce the hydrogen ion concentration of a solution.
All right. Yeah. I think that's it, because yeah, you're getting it right, all of you. It's a molecule that donates hydrogen ions or otherwise binds excess hydrogen ions and decreases hydrogen ion in a concentration solution. So you're gonna be talking about the hydrogen ions there. You're gonna be going up and down with the hydrogen ions, then you should be fine. Can we move on? What is a chemical bond?
A chemical bond is a bond between two or more elements to form a compound.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Chemical bonds is a connection between two surfaces or objects that has been joined together.
Cool. So here will be an interaction between two or more of the same different atom that results in forming a molecule. So you want to form a molecule. So these are the interactions which are going to be bonded to form a molecule. You can also try to use your own word, but just to indicate that this is a bond which is tied to from different atoms to form a molecule. And the chemical reaction, remember, this is a reaction.
Can I answer, sir?
Yes.
I think chemical reaction is the process by which chemicals interact to form new chemicals with different composition.
All right.
Chemical reaction is the process where it's making and breaking of chemical bonds, leading to changes in chemical composition of matter.
Yes, can we have the last person? The gents were very energetic when we started. I was about to say, yo, it's like, yeah, Chiefs fans, they have given up. They have accepted, or no, we don't have a chance. But they're starting to low down here. Anybody else?
Chemical reaction is the process in which one or more substance alcohols. Oh God.
No, I didn't want you to stop. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry.
So I can just put it in just me, the process which is just leading to rearranging atoms in a molecule. But you can also put your own words, but you just to go with the fact that that's why you not whatever that you've given was not wrong, but you need to whatever that you say is leading to a range of the atoms in a molecule in that order. So we talked about adhesion. So if you know what adhesion is, because adhesion sorry, go hand in hand with cohesion. What is cohesion?
opposite of adhesion.
So you just go back to what you have written or what you have answered in your notes if you're in exam and say, oh, what is adhesion? And then you're gonna have to go because they mostly, not most of the time, go against one another. So most of the time, compare them with each other. So you can, if you know what adhesion is, so you can have an idea of what cohesion therefore will be. There was somebody who gave a proper, perfect answer of adhesion. So if you have written it down, you can also just.
Coercion, so is the gluing of the same substances to one another.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Cohesion helps the transport of water against gravity in plants.
Okay. There's a term that I'm looking for. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
Can
you hear
okay.
us? Okay.
Cohesion is a grammatical and lexical linking within a text or sentence that hold the text together, and it's giving it some meaning.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
An attraction between two substances that are the same.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go. Forces between water molecules caused by polar nature of water, which is responsible for surface tension. So here, I think yes, if you are using cohesion in every terminology, you can use cohesion in everyday life. You can use cohesion in when you're just talking to general anybody in court or anywhere else. But in terms of biological science or in a natural science point of view, when you are explaining what cohesion is, you're gonna have to make sure that whatever that you define or whatever that you give has a surface tension in your text or in your explanation. All right. What is a compound?
So a compound is a unique substance that consists of two or more elements combined in fixed proportion.
All right. Anybody else?
A compound is a substance made up of different elements joined together by a chemical bond.
All right. So substances composed of molecule consisting of atoms of at least two different elements. And a covalent bond?
This is a bond that is formed between two or more molecules that share electrons.
Then covalent bond is a chemical bond that involves the sharing of electrons to form electron pair between atoms.
Okay. I like the electron pair part. Anybody else?
Covalent bond is a chemical bond formed when electrons are shared between two atoms.
Okay, yeah.
The covalent bond is a bond between an nanometal and a metal.
Sure. So I think one of the person give all the definition, which is a type of a strong bond formed between two atoms of the same or different element, which form when electrons are shared between the atoms. Yeah, please go through this. We're gonna share this. I'm gonna share this, but even in your own notes, please go through this thoroughly, and see if you can check keywords so that when you give an answer, you are not blindsided. There are no any blind sides which can sidetrack you or confuse you in that regards. Can we proceed? Okay. How many neutrons do carbon 12 and carbon 13 have respectively?
Carbon atom, the carbon 12 one consists of 6 neutrons. Since it has 6 protons and 6 electrons, meaning that it has 6 neutrons. I don't know if you get me what I'm trying to say.
Come on, go ahead again. You said carbon 12 has how many?
Carbon 12
has
6 neutrons.
Okay.
Since it has 6 protons, which the atomic mass is 12.
Yes.
Yes.
And carbon 13?
Then the neutrons for carbon 13, they are 7, which the protons, they are 6. So it's going to be 13 minus 6, then it's going to give us the neutrons 7.
All right.
I don't know if
Yeah, do we all agree with her? Or somebody else have a different? Okay, that was the wrong question to ask. To say, do we agree with her? Excuse me, sorry. Yeah. Okay, yes, you are right. So carbon 12 and carbon 13 are 2 isotopes of the element carbon, and the number of their names represent the sum of the protons and neutrons in their nuclei. And carbon 12, like you said, has 6 protons and 6 neutrons, and then carbon 13 has 6 protons and 7 neutrons. So carbon 12 has 6, you're right, neutrons, and what is my mouth not doing here? Yes. And carbon 13 has 7 neutrons. Do we all understand where this is coming from?
Yes.
All right, cool. Easy peasy. All right, let's go. Then we go back to multiple choice question. If xenon has an atomic number of 54 and a mass number of 108, you're gonna need your calculators now. If xenon has a atomic number of 54 and a mass number of 108, how many neutrons does it has?
The answer is A. I think 54, because since it has 108, the mass number, which is the neutrons plus the protons, and it gave us the atomic number, of which the atomic number is the protons. So we can say 108 minus 54, that makes 54 neutrons.
All right. I don't want to say do we all agree with it, because I know everybody will say yes. Anybody with a different or the similar answer? Okay, do we all agree with that? So I like the idea that you also explain, because I know in some instances they may not just say which one does it has. They might also request you to also explain where does it come from, or how does it come about, or how did you arrive to 54 in that regard, where you're going to have to explain the formula. So to find the number of neutrons in an atom, you can subtract the atomic number from the mass number, where the atomic number represent the number of protons and the mass number represent the sum of protons. Remember when we were doing all those slides last week? So it's better if whenever you start to arrive at a question like this, you also draw your own structure. It could be a circle where you can indicate that yes, there's a atomic number here and all that. So in this case for xenon, atomic number, like you said, is 54, which is, and mass number is 108. So the number of neutrons will be the mass number minus or subtracted by atomic number, where it will be number of neutrons, it will be 108 minus 54, which is going to be 54. So xenon has 54 neutrons. Then atoms that vary in the number of neutrons found in the nucleus are called
Isotopes.
isotopes. Anyone else? Ready for exam, ne? Yes. I think we can just, I'm sure you saying they should bring it at 1 today. At 1 today, we'll take it. Okay, she's right, it's isotopes. And which of the, why do I have 6 here? Why do I have 6 here? What is 6 for? I'm not sure. What is 6 for? Okay. Which type of bond represent weak chemical bond?
Can I
It's
answer?
A.
Yes. Which one?
The answer is
A. It's A.
Hydrogen bond. Okay. Anyone
Hydrogen
else?
bond.
Hydrogen bond. I agree.
Yes.
I admit you guys are okay. Sure, I admit you guys are. It's hydrogen bond. Which of the following statement is true? Is not true. Water is polar, or B, water stabilizes temperature, or C, water is essential for life, or D, water is the most abundant molecule on Earth. I can really read. I'm kidding, guys. Come on. It's easiest, this one.
I think D. Oh, sorry, forgot to switch this off. I think D is not is the one that's not true, because water is not the most abundant molecule in Earth's atmosphere. I believe it is nitrogen. I think.
Anyone else? We are looking for the statement which is not true.
Yes, D, sir.
D, the most abundant molecule in the Earth atmosphere. Okay.
I think. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I lost the screen. Oh, I think it's. I think it's B.
I think it's D.
You think it's B? You think it's D? Which one do you think it's? You.
No, I think it's D.
You think it's D?
Yeah.
I'm counting the votes here, and
Can I also add another reason on D?
Yeah.
Because they're saying in the atmosphere, right? I think water is more concentrated, like actually on the land, not on the atmosphere. The atmosphere is mainly like gases the most, and the water that's in the atmosphere comes as water vapor, and water vapor consists, I think, about 0.3% of the atmosphere.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Can we just close it? Can I just give the answer, and so that we can move on? Because I think the last speaker just put a very good emphasis in terms of explanation. How it's just that I don't want you to bother you to put it in the chat box, but you are right. The answer is D, that the water is not true, because the statement water is the most abundant molecule in the Earth atmosphere is not true. In Earth atmosphere, the most abundant molecule are nitrogen. So are nitrogen and oxygen, which makes up the majority of the atmosphere. So water is present in the atmosphere as well, but it's not the most abundant molecule in the atmosphere. So it's worth noticing, my 2 cents, that also the most abundant molecules are nitrogen and oxygen. So maybe the other question this time around, it may not come as which one is the statement not true. They could just come and say which one is the most abundant molecules in the atmosphere, and then you're gonna have to realize that it's nitrogen and oxygen. When acids are added to a solution, the pH
Sorry,
okay.
sir.
Yes.
Can you please do me a favor? There was something that I was taking down on the previous slide. Is it possible that you can go back to the previous slide, please?
Not a problem. But we're gonna share this. We're gonna share this either way.
Is it? Oh, okay. Thank you.
We're gonna share this. Miss Maya, I will try to send. I know you guys received the one for the first sessions, right? She forwarded you on Thursday, I think. If not,
yes.
Okay, yeah. We'll try to make sure that this arrives before Wednesday also. Even the one for last week won't go. But you can you can feel free to take down if you wanna.
Yeah, I've took a picture already. Thank you, sir.
Okay, no problem. There is a snapping shot. I will show you the snapping shot where you can take a screenshot much quickly and easier. And most of your computers do have snapping shot. Where were we? I think we were here. When acids are added to a solution, the pH should.
And the
A.
A.
Yes, A. It's A.
It's A.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So yeah, you are right. When acids are added to a solution, the pH should decrease. When acids are added to a solution, the pH should decrease. Acid are substance that release hydrogen ions when dissolved in water. Remember we talked about that. And these hydrogen ions increase concentration of hydrogen ions in the solution, making it more acidic. Therefore, as a result, the pH, which is a measure of acidity or alkalinity of a solution, therefore decreases as the concentration of hydrogen ion increases. Congratulations, guys. We call a molecule that binds up excess of hydrogen ion in a solution
It's C.
Acid and acid.
Acid.
Anybody else? Anyone else?
The answer is A, acid.
Anybody else?
I think it's a base because an acid donates, it doesn't binds.
One last person before we proceed.
I think it's C. Sir.
You think it's also C? I think you are right. It's C. We call a molecule that binds up an excess hydrogen ions a base. All right. Which of the following statements is true? This time around, we are looking for the one which is true, not the one which is false or which is not true. And that either number one, acids and bases cannot mix together, or B, acids and bases will neutralize each other, or C, acids but not bases can change the pH of a solution, or D, acids donate hydrogen ions, bases donates hydrogen ions, hydroxide ion, hydrogen ions, or acids donate hydroxide ions, and bases donate hydrogen ions. Think about this and tell us the answer.
I think
Acids and base will neutralize each other.
You neutralize each other. Why do you think so? Do you have a reason why?
Hi, so
Yes.
I think the answer is B because acid and bases can mix,
Mhm.
and acid that do change the pH of the solution as well as bases. The pH of the solution will increase instead of decreasing, just like acids. Then acids donates the hydrogen. Then bases, I don't know, bases they don't donate the hydrogen. They actually accept the hydrogen.
Mm.
I mean, they donate. Wait, bases donate the
You are right.
hydrogen.
You are right.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
the acids, they donate hydrogen ions, and then the
They
bases,
accept
they
the
donate the
hydrogen.
hydroxide ions. It's the other way around.
So which means the D1 they have mixed it up.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. All right. Yeah. You're right. So the statement which is true is that acids and bases will neutralize each other when acids and bases are mixed together in right proportion. They undergo what they call a chemical reaction, which is known as neutralization. In this reaction, the acidic properties of the acid and the basic properties of those basic neutral are neutralized, which therefore results in the formation of water and salt. And this process, if you remember on the notes that we did on the previous slides, they it involve the transfer of hydrogen ions from the acid to the hydroxide ions from the base, like you have said, forming water, and the remaining ions combine to form the salt. So the statement is true, and the rest are either swap or what, but they're not accurate. Acids and base can mix together, and they often do when neutralizing reaction occur. Acid can lower the pH of a solution or make it more acidic, and bases raise the pH of a solution to make it more basic. And both acids and bases can change the pH of a solution. And like you said, in D, acid donate hydrogen ions, not hydroxide ions, while bases donate hydrogen ion, not hydroxide ion, not hydrogen ion for base. So you are right. Let's go to number 12. Each carbon atom can bond with as many as other atoms or molecules.
it's 4. D4 because carbon has a
Valence.
it has the valency of 4, so it can only bond with 4 atoms or
All right.
molecules.
Cool. Which of the following is not a functional group that can bond with carbon? It's easy, this one. The one which can bond with carbon.
Well, is sodium a functional group? I don't think, because I'm saying hydroxyl, I know it's a functional group. Phosphate, carbon, no, but sodium.
Think of the one that cannot bond with carbon. When you
Phosphate.
when you are looking on those structural forms that we were checking last week.
Of course.
I think it has to be phosphate, sir.
So I think it's sodium.
All right.
Mr. Nelufole,
Hi, Mr. Maya.
I have no idea what the answer is. I just want to ask students just to take care of the camera, just to be vigilant about the camera. There is a student that's camera. Kindly mute your camera. Thank you so much. That's all from me.
All right, cool. Yeah, let's continue.
So I was saying sodium because sodium is not a functional group.
Okay.
I was also saying it's sodium because of it can only like bond to carbon. It has only one
think you are right. It's sodium. Yeah, then let's go for. You're gonna have to read this. So they said Jimmy. Sorry.
I asking if she or you could explain why the answer was sodium.
In terms
Oh
of the
yeah,
function,
that's what.
okay. Anyone who wanna give it a try to explain?
So I
Yes.
said it was sodium because it has one valency electron. So and carbon has to bond 4 valency electrons. So I don't know if it's true, but you can tell us.
Anyone else?
Can I
No,
try?
I think because hydrosol is a functional group, phosphate is a functional group, carbonyl is a functional group, but sodium is an element. It's not a functional group. So it's
Exactly.
not what the question
So
is
so
asking.
you're looking for if you check on those functional group that we did last week with the structures and all that, especially the one that can find which can be a functional group with carbon, you'll find that the simple answer is that sodium is not there. Just simply of the simplicity of it. If you wanna make your life simpler, you just go and look on those, and then you'll find that sodium is in there, and as a functional group that can bond with carbon.
So to add on that, can I add?
Sure, thank you.
Also because sodium is metal and carbon is non-metal.
There we go.
So yeah.
Are you answered, sir?
Yes, thank you, sir. I am.
Okay, so Jamie is assigned a project where she must create a model of an atom using a household object. Jamie is brainstorming ideas for each part of the atom. What is located in the nucleus of an atom that Jimmy must represent?
A. Protons and neutrons.
Seconded, sir.
Seconded, okay. It's A, because protons and neutrons, when the nucleus of an atom consists positively charged, protons and neutrons that have, no charge, both of these particles have a mass which is roughly a 1 AU in terms of quantity or the unit of measure in that regard. All right. Then number 11, quiz number 11. I think we are repeating ourselves here, but I think let's go for it. How many neutrons do potassium 39 and potassium 40 have respectively?
Potassium 39 has 19, and then potassium 40 has 20.
So which one would that be? It will be, is it D, C, B, or A? A as either potassium 39 has 20 neutrons, potassium 40 has 21 neutrons, or B, potassium 39 has 39 neutrons, potassium 40 has 40 neutrons, or C, potassium 39 has 11 neutrons, potassium 40 has 20 neutrons, or D, potassium has 39. Potassium 39 has 16 neutrons, potassium 40 has 17 neutrons. Which one is the answer?
A. The answer is A, because the potassium is element number 39 in the periodic table, meaning it has 19 protons. So we take the 19 and subtract the mass number.
Yeah. And the other mistake that I'm making, and that should be on your detriment, and it's good that you guys are catching up to us, but to be fair, most of these questions we are not supposed to. You will be given a what do you call it, periodic table. So you need to have a look at it before you even attempt to answer these questions. But you are right. So potassium 39 has 20 neutrons, potassium 40 has 21 neutrons is the correct answer. So when you subtract each number of neutrons from each of these atoms, you get 19. And that is the number of protons potassium has, also known as atomic number. All right. And the similar question here follows, which says, which of the following statements is true of a neutral magnesium atom given that magnesium has an atomic number of 12? A, it has 12 protons, 12 electrons, and 12 neutrons. B, it has 6 protons, 6 electrons, and no neutrons. Or C, it has 12 protons, 12 electrons, and 6 neutrons. Or D, it has 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons.
I think it's A, sir.
It's
Wait.
A.
A.
Somebody else? Yes.
It's C.
Okay,
I
we have
think it's
C,
C.
we have C, we have D, we have 2 A's. Anybody else?
It's A, sir.
We've got 3 A's, yes. So the A gang, you are correct. So atomic number tells you the number of protons, and and if the atom is neutral, the number of proton neutrons will be the same. The atomic number tells you the number of protons. All right. And if the atom is neutral, because the true about which of the following statement is true about the neutral of magnesium. If the atom number is neutral, therefore the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons will also be the same. All right. So given the isotope of sodium has a mass number of 22, how many neutrons does it have?
I think it's number D, sir.
Number D. All right, so everybody's going for D. So that's the correct. Sodium has atomic number of 11, meaning it has 11 proton. Then you subtract 11 from the mass number of as each proton weighs, then you have 11. All right. So here, board diagram. This is group 1, group 14, group 17, group 18 board diagram for hydrogen, helium, lithium, carbon, neon, sodium, silicon, chlorine, and argon. We did talk about this last week. So here's the question. Bohr diagram indicate how many electrons fill. Remember when I was telling you that they may not necessarily ask you to draw. They can just give you the diagram themselves and ask question from it. So Bohr diagram indicate how many electrons fill each principal shell. Group 18 elements, which is helium, neon, and argon, are shown in figure 2 and have full outer or valence shell. A full valence shell is the most stable electron configuration. Elements in other groups have partially filled valence shell and gain or lose electrons to achieve stable configuration. An atom may give, take, or share electrons with other atoms to achieve a full valence shell. The most stable electron configuration, the most stable electron configuration. Looking at this figure, how many electrons do elements in group 1 need to lose in order to achieve a stable electron configuration? And how many elements do elements in group 14 and 17 needs to gain to achieve the stable configuration? Meaning group 1 needs to lose in order to achieve stable electron configuration, and group 14 and 17 needs to gain in order to achieve a stable configuration. The number is how many do those elements need to, how many of those do they need? For group 1, how many they need to gain, and group 17 and no, group 1 is how many they need to lose for group 1, and for group 14 and 17, how many do they need to gain?
Hi, sir.
Yes.
For group one, the I can't even read. The group one element, elements need to lose one electron for group 17 to gain one electron. So, for example, the Na and the Cl, when they bond together, the group one gives away the electron to the Cl to form a stable configuration. Then for group 14, since they have 4 valency electron, they need 2. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
They need to gain 2, group 14 and 7.
So they need to gain. Yes, they need to gain 2. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure, so I'm just assuming.
Okay, anybody else?
Also, they need to gain 4 because they have to all bond, giving a full electron shell of 8 electrons bonding together. A pair of 4. Yes, now I see.
This looks like a typical question that your examiner can bring in the exam, just to make things interesting. To say you thought life was easy, eh? And they just like bad. It is very.
Yeah, well, I think group 18 doesn't need to gain. They are stable. Group
Yes.
17.
Yeah.
They need to gain two electrons to achieve this stable configuration. And group 1, they need to donate. No, they don't donate. They donate. They donate.
Yeah, the question said they need to lose. They need to lose. How many? The issue is how many, group 1.
They need to lose 1.
1.
Yes.
All right. Then group 14 and 17.
Group 14, they need to gain 4. Group 14, they need to gain 4 electrons, and group 17, they need to gain 2 electrons.
Here's the question. The thing is, group 18 is stable. Do we all agree?
Yes, yeah, halogens.
From the statement here. So group 18 is stable. Group 14 and 17, in order for them to have a stable configuration, they need to gain electrons in order for them to be stable. Group 1, for it to be stable, it needs to lose electrons in order for it to be stable. So group 1 needs to lose. Group 14 and 17, they need to gain.
Electron.
Yes. The question now is how many does group 1 needs to lose? And the question is how many do group 14 and 17 need to gain? Is the question clear?
Group 1 needs to lose. Group 1 needs to lose 1 electron. Group 14 needs to gain 4 electrons, and group 17 needs to gain 1 electron.
Yes,
sir.
Okay. And we understand, because I don't think the issue so much here was on the answer, it was on the question. And you are right. So group 1 needs to lose 1. I think most of you were understanding this one, yes, to achieve stable configuration. And group 14 needs to gain 4, and 17 needs to gain 1, respectively, to achieve this stable configuration. So I made a mistake. I should have given this back then in order for you to understand. It's just a predictable. I think we did this question, didn't we? When looking at group 16 in the predictable here, when you look at group 16, and how many electrons will an atom of any element in this group want to gain, lose, or share in order to achieve stable electron configuration? A, all elements in the group are already in their most stable form and will not want to gain or lose any electron, or B6 lose 6 electrons, or C gain 2 electrons, or D gain 6 electrons.
C, gain 2 electrons.
Which is what? Which is C.
Yes.
Anybody else?
So can you go back to the periodic table so that I can confirm? Group 16? Yes, it's C. 2 electrons, since oxygen has a valency of 6 electrons.
We all agree it's C. So it gains 2 electrons. Why? Because all elements in this group have 6 valence electrons. And in order to have a stable electron configuration, you will want to have 8 valence electron in the outer shell. In order to obtain this, they want to either gain or share 2 electrons to form another atom. All right. Given the characteristic of ionic bonds, which of the following will potassium most readily form an ionic bond with?
I'm not pretty sure if I do have a correct answer here, but I've never had. Maybe it's because of my shallow experience with chemistry, but I've never had a compound with a name like potassium sodium something or sodium potassium. I don't know, but I'm thinking that it's A.
Believe you me, in me, we both don't have experience in chemistry. Yeah, but okay.
So
Yes.
since an ionic bond is a bond between metal and non-metals, I need you to go back to the periodic table. I can't like.
Not a problem.
Okay, so since a potassium and sodium are both I can't actually tell. They're both metals. So they can't it says for an ionic bond, so they can't bond because that won't make an ionic bond. So it's we scratch that one out. Then we have aluminium, which is, your periodic table is kind of dribbling me. Okay, so neon, we can scratch that off because it's a halogen, not a, yes, so meaning it's bromide. Where's bromide? I'm colorblind. Oh, bromide is a halogen and the one is noble gas, meaning it only leaves aluminium. So it's gonna be aluminium. I'm not sure. I'm assuming.
I think it's bromine, sir.
Your color code, your colors.
Okay, my colors are okay. Okay, let's just move. So the correct one will be, unfortunately, it will be. I know it could look like it's sodium or what, but because of the predictable, okay, I will understand that my predictable is not visible. Sorry about that. Then it's the bromide has 7 valence electrons and potassium just 1. In order to become a stable bromine, bromine wants to gain more valence electron and potassium wants to lose 1 valence electron, making them anions and cations respectively. So these two oppositely charged ions are perfect match for ionic bond, which will become together as potassium bromine, and in that regard. Okay, since the predictable is not visible, let's just move on. So in nature, we can find a variety of bonds that hold atoms and compounds together. What type of weak bond can you find in your own DNA as well as between individuals' water molecules? Sounds like we have done this before, right? No.
Yes.
We did.
Yes.
Okay, what is the answer?
I think it's B.
It's B. Does everybody also think it's B? Yeah, I want you to
Yes,
say
so
yes.
it's B.
Yes, okay. Okay, hydrogen bonds are individually weak bonds and that are formed when slightly positive charge hydrogen on one molecule is attracted to slightly negative charge atom of another molecule. And these bonds can easily be broken. That's why they are weak hydrogen bonds. All right, so there are several types of bonds found in the nature, but one is the weakest. And this type of bond only forms very weak and temporary bonds between molecules. What types of bonds are these?
I think it's B, sir.
Is B? Anybody else?
Yeah, I also think they are van der Waals interactions.
B, Van der Waals.
Yes, you're correct. Yeah. So it's van der Waals interaction, which are the weakest, which are found between molecules, and they are formed from partial charges between molecules and happen when molecules are close to one another, and these bonds are very weak and occur between molecules. Which type of bond represent weak chemical bond? B.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen, same.
Yeah.
B.
All right, then you're gonna have to write down this. What is the summarize? 6 marks. Equation for cellular respiration. What is it?
Glucose
Can I try?
oxygen without carbon dioxide and water and energy.
Say that again.
Glucose C6H12O6 plus hydrogen gives out carbon dioxide and water and energy.
Okay.
Then
Anybody
you
else?
balance it.
Yeah, can I try this one?
Yeah.
C6H12O6 plus O2 to give H2O, CO2, and ATP.
What are those? What are those reactions in full?
It's
So it
glucose plus oxygen. It gives out water, carbon dioxide, and ATP.
yes. Or this is what you wanna say. Is this correct? Sharp.
Yes.
Yeah. Then explain why ATP is required for. Okay. Move your slides. Explain why for 2 marks. Explain why 8. By the way, this is 6 marks.
Just the equation, sir.
Yeah.
The balanced equation is 6 marks.
Not. Which one should we add? I'm lost. Yeah.
Sorry?
I'm lost. You're saying it's not balanced? Which one?
No, I'm saying just the balanced equation is 6 marks.
Oh, okay. Also, the 6 marks is for the balanced equation.
Really? Okay, sir.
Because in the past previous question papers, there's for this question they said 6 marks. So if you get a hold of this, you have 6 marks in your pocket. It's easy and it could be dangerous as well. So you might actually have to make sure that you know this. So just put them all in. Just put them all in full in words and yeah, and also balance them so that you are on a safe side. Kid you not, it was like this in your. I can't remember which year was that.
A bullet you said on please.
Sorry?
On bullet pounds.
Can't hear him. What is he saying? He's breaking.
On the it's organic compounds, and the second bullet is C6H12O6, which is glucose.
So you think this is wrong, right?
So if it's organic compound, glucose is an organic compound.
Yes.
I think so. I think you are right. So just put glucose in that manner in order so that we don't put up. Is it fine? Should I change it to glucose? You agree?
Yes, just change it to glucose so that you don't mess things up.
I was just wondering if could it be any other organic molecule?
Because it gets ambiguous. It sounds like it's ambiguous. It can raise like a question mark if you just say organic compound. You are right on that one. Good.
Say.
Hello.
Yeah.
Say.
Yes.
On oxygen. Okay. Say.
Yes.
On oxygen, do you have to write 606 or 602? Why write 6? It's 602.
Oxygen.
Oh.
For it to be balanced.
I think it's 602.
No,
Six
sir,
molecules of oxygen.
The oxygen molecule. It's O2, not O6. That's what she means.
For oxygen.
Yes, for oxygen only.
For only oxygen, that's when it will be balanced.
Yes, sir, but your oxygen is O6, not O. You wrote O6, not O2.
You know what? Let's write it from the top. Let's go.
Glucose.
So for glucose, what's the reaction for glucose?
C6H12O6.
No, let's go C6H12. But when you're writing it, okay, you're going to be writing it on the, but when you are writing it in your book, it will be under, it will not be 12, it will be the small 12 in that, you know what I mean, right?
Yes.
Hence, we cannot see here.
Yes.
Then 12, then oxygen.
It's O6.
Then O6, which are written there, plus
602.
Plus oxygen, it's O2.
Then when it's balanced, it's going to be 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, sorry about that.
It's 6. Yes.
Then carbon dioxide will be plus water plus ATP carbon dioxide to balance it, how much will it be?
6 carbon dioxide and 6 hydrogen. 6 water.
So it's fine now.
Yes.
So are we fine with like this for 6 marks? I think the more marks will be in the balancing. I think. Because 6 marks is a lot. But you get the gist of what I'm saying. Write it in words and also put a formula. You get it? Write it in words and also put a formula and also put the balance formula, because I'm pretty much sure that your examiner, the key that he's gonna be looking for, it's the balance. Should I remove this or should I retain like this so you remember? Let me remove it so that it does not confuse somebody when we come to these slides. We are left with 5 minutes here. Look at me. I give you the answers. Come on. What are you doing? You knew this one, didn't you? Explain why ATP is required for predatory step in glycolysis. ATP is used for phosphorylate for fuel. Describe the structure and function of ribosomes. So ribosomes are made up of two types of subunits, large and small subunits, and the ribosomal units are made up of proteins and RNA molecules, which are called ribosomal RNA or RNA. The ribosomal subunits are made up of nucleus, and the subunits are then transported via the nuclear pores to the cytoplasm. Approximately 2/3 of the mass of ribosome is RNA, ribosomal RNA. The ribosome of eukaryotes are slightly larger than those of prokaryotes. And the ribosome play a role in formation of polypeptides. Yeah. In like 5 or 6 minutes, can we do this? Give one word for these following terms. These are easy. Let's start with the first one. A variety of biological systems typically conceived as the number of species, but also applying to genes by biochemistry and ecosystems.
I think that's biodiversity.
Anybody else? She is right, it's biodiversity. The concept originated by Norman Mayers to describe a geographical region with a large number of endemic species and a large percentage of degraded habitat. So this will be biodiversity hot spot. The hotspot, which is the large number of a place where there's most endemic and large percentage of degraded habitat. Then the next one will be variety of metabolic compounds in an ecosystem. It will be your chemical diversity. A variety of metabolic compounds in an ecosystem. Okay, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this next week. There's a slide which will talk about this. I disappear. If you get this wrong, I'm gonna be. I won't take kindly to this. Disappearance of species from Earth. Local extinction is the disappearance of species from a region. I don't understand how did I put this question here, but it sounds wrong, isn't it?
Yes, it was supposed to be extinction because it's the disappearance of species from Earth.
Yeah, it sounds wrong. I put it. I have to restructure this when I bring this. Yeah. All right. Variety of genes in a species or other taxonomic groups or ecosystem. The term can refer to allelic diversity or genomic-wide diversity. Even this one is itself explain itself. What is it?
Extinction.
No, I'm sorry. variety of genes in a species.
Genetic variation.
Yes, it's genetic diversity. This one, yeah. This one is very. It's very number of ecological niches. I also don't like this kind of questions like this one because there are like different outputs that you can put depending on which specific field you are focusing on or subject that you're focusing on. This will be your heterogeneity. heterogeneity. Please go through. We will go through this next week. There are like,
Yeah,
and
that's
I
well with
understand. I
that.
understand that we didn't do slides for this one. This is the thing that I was worried about when we do the chemical. What is the name of the session that we're gonna go through? It will make more sense after we go through a slide for 30 minutes or 40 minutes before we go this with the questions. I understand. Yes. Let's just do one more, the one that you will answer so that you can feel good about yourself before we close this one. Yes. As part of school project, Sasha, Barack Obama has a child called Sasha, isn't it? Has been assigned the task to make an edible molecule model of eukaryotic cell. She has chosen to make a circular jello mold with various fruits inside arranged to represent the different parts of cell. The jello that surrounds all of the different pieces of fruits most accurately represent which part of the cell.
The cytoplasm.
All right. Anybody else?
Nope, it's B.
Yeah, but that's what she said also. She said cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is B. So yes, you second her. Oh, you are answering me when I said anybody has a different.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
okay, yes, okay, yeah, okay. I'm the one, yeah. Your answer is correct. Yeah, it's B, yes, cytoplasm. I understand. Yeah, correct. Cytoplasm jelly, like the substrate that is found all throughout the cell and surrounds all the internal organelle in eukaryotic cell. The cytoplasm best represented by the jello in the cell model. Yeah, on that note, we will continue next week. Next week, we'll start from this. Don't worry about this. Yes, on that note, thank you so much. If there's any question,